Hey, everybody, it's your commish here. Little under the weather, as you see, kind of shouldered up right now and everything. But wanted to do a little my picks, as usual for the week and whatnot. Also want to go over a few of the trades. Quiet trade deadline so far, especially considering we've done like 20 something trades in the league already. But yeah, trade deadline's quiet. Not as quiet as in the other dynasty, but we keep trucking. One big trade that went on included myself and Team 10. As Eric said, for once, this might be a trade where everybody actually agrees it works out best for everybody. I got Le'Veon Bell for Torrey Smith and Keenan Allen, and he also gets the lowest of my 3 draft picks that I have for the year. So good trade all the way around. Frees up a little bit of salary cap room for him next year as he's rebuilding. Helps me now with my current running back situation even next year. I now do have 2 starting running backs even before the league starts, and 2 very quality ones at that. The other trade that I just went through and did, Danny Woodhead for Terrell Pryor. This gives Derek Lehman, Terrell Pryor, and a quarterback while Aaron Rodgers is out. Pryor wasn't doing much for me. At the very least, again, I have another insurance policy at running back with Woodhead for the rest of my run this year. And a nice cheap $10 contract next year, which I accept. Not a big deal whatsoever. So, yeah, let's get into my picks before I pass out probably at this point. Um, Big game this week, the game of the week actually, between myself and the Prodigy. Doug has basically said that this is his comeback. Started last week or whatever. He plans on making the playoffs. He's still all in. He's not selling. He's buying, evidently. I'm not really sure why, but unfortunately has not bought a tight end yet. I'm going to pick myself, obviously, this week, as I do have a 40-point projected lead. Of course, with our trades, that's going to change up a few things. But he does have a variety of people who did not practice today. Eddie Royal, no practice. Welker, no practice. Richardson, no practice. Injury bug still seems to be biting him like crazy. McFadden didn't practice. He already had him on his bench. So because of his injuries and my overall depth of my team, I'm going to go ahead and pick myself for the win. In the next game, we have Duke in the Vinegar Strokes. Kind of another do or die game for a couple teams. I'm going to pick Eric in the Vinegar Strokes. But I think Duke's going to give him a nice run overall. Duke needs a win to stay in contention. Otherwise, he might as well sell, sell, sell. And almost the same way for the Vinegar Strokes. I know he keeps saying, as he has said all year long, I'm going to catch Derek Lehman. He has not yet to do it. Every time he loses, every time Derek loses, Eric loses. Every time Eric wins, Derek wins. It's a back and forth battle. I will pick Eric to win this week, though, over Duke. Just due to he actually has kind of a healthy team out there. He got Jennings. He did make the drop, the big Sproles drop, but he did make his team deeper as a result. Sproles was giving him nothing, so at least he's getting something for nothing at this point. On to our next game. We have Unnecessary Fisting and the Fence Hopper. First off, Fence Hopper needs to do a little bit of work on his team. He has a lot of people that are in with buys. Nonetheless, again, because of Andy's overall depth, I'm going to go ahead and take him. He does have some weak matchups as far as defenses go. In the Chicago-Detroit game, there's going to be a lot of offense. He has members from both teams. San Diego does not have a good defense. Thomas is going to come back and hurt the Fence Hopper. And, I like Fisty in this one. I think this is a week where he actually wraps up his division. Congratulations, Andy, the first division winner after this week. In our next game, we have Team 10 and the Recto Renegades. Actually, a lot closer battle on paper than it seems. Again, it's primarily because of injuries for the Recto Renegades. Again, Jones Drew, Graham, they both didn't practice today. I still think they're going to play, but no practice. Team 10 is starting to get deeper. Via our trade that we made, there actually is some depth now involved with that team. And that trade's actually going to process Friday. So he's going to have Torrey Smith and Keenan Allen to utilize. And in fact, I'm going to go ahead and take Team 10 with the upset over the Rectal Renegades. The Rectal is going to continue to drop. His team, besides Peyton Manning, really has not performed all that well. But he has gotten pretty lucky schedule-wise. This is not going to be the week, though. Team 10 with the upset. And in our next game, we have Pierce Brosnan and I Love Mike Ditka. I Love Mike Ditka has basically thrown in the towel for the season. I probably am not going to pick him the rest of the year unless he plays Mike Samuels. Then it's a possibility. Dustin has loaded up his team as good as it's going to be. He keeps throwing out trade options. Nobody's taking him in that option, though. or at least he's not happy with the results. Nonetheless, his team's built to win this week against I Love Mike Ditka, probably the weakest team in the league right now. And he does have Spiller playing a little bit better. The Giants are playing the Raiders, which gave up a crap ton of points last game, which we all know just has a million Giants players. Moreno's still on the block for the next 4.5 hours or whatever it is. But unless Dustin starts to get a little bit lenient, he doesn't have an option. Garrett Graham's not going to lead his tight ends or lead his team to a tight end victory ever. So I don't know. I would think a little bit deeper about that, Dustin. But I will take you for the win this week. And in our last game, we have the Dutch Oven and Final Answer. Scott's going to finally hit the quote-unquote easy part. The easy part of his schedule. Luckily, even with Jamal Charles on a bye, congratulations for that. This may be one of the bigger blowouts of the week, especially because Arian Foster's not practicing again. Hayward Bay can't prove anything to anybody. I don't know. Just not a very good week so far. So I will take Dutch Oven. And I believe that's everything. Just as a reminder again, tonight is the trade deadline for anybody who wants to make trades. This was also the week, I believe, for any long-term free agency. Everything from this point forward will just be one-year pickups. So thank you guys. Sorry, I'm going to keep this nice and short. Shoulders killing me. Talk to you soon.